Let's talk about greed. Yes, greed, the invisible puppeteer pulling the strings of societies and humanity's fate. This subject might be more relevant than ever as we dive deeper into the labyrinth of human nature, unmasking one of its most destructive forces. Greed. It's like a bottomless pit, a relentless craving that knows no bounds. Greed can blind us, driving us to pursue wealth, power, and resources, regardless of the wider impact on our shared human society. This insatiable appetite transcends mere desire, becoming a consuming force that can make us oblivious to the needs and suffering of others. It's not just about wanting more, it's about craving more at any cost. Greed has the potential to corrode our moral compass, leading to exploitation, inequality, and a breakdown of trust within communities. So let's remember, greed is not just a personal vice, but a societal malaise, casting a long shadow across human history. History is littered with the wreckage of empires that have fallen prey to the pernicious influence of greed. This trait, this insatiable hunger, has been the driving force behind some of the most expansive empires the world has ever seen. Take, for example, the Roman Empire. Its hunger for territorial expansion, driven by the desire for more resources, more power, and more control, ultimately led to its downfall. The same can be said for the British Empire, which stretched across the globe in its heyday, driven by the desire for wealth and dominance. This insatiable appetite for more led to the exploitation of peoples and lands far from home, justifying atrocities in the name of progress and civilization. Fast forward to the modern era, and we see that the empires of old have taken on a new form: multinational corporations. These entities, often based in the former colonial powers, continue the legacy of exploitation under the guise of economic globalization and development. They extract resources and cheap labor from developing nations, perpetuating a cycle of dependency and poverty. The pursuit of profit takes precedence over the well-being of workers and the sustainability of local economies. This is the modern manifestation of greed, as insidious and destructive as the imperialistic desires of the past. Let's never overlook the agonizing truth of the contemporary Israeli occupation of Palestine, a haunting saga of unquenchable greed, where the relentless expansion into Palestinian territory shatters lives and dreams, stripping away the very essence of human dignity and inflicting immeasurable suffering upon a people yearning for freedom and justice. From ancient empires to modern corporations, greed has left an indelible mark on our world. It is a mark we must strive to erase if we are to build a more equitable and sustainable future. Greed doesn't just lead to inequality, it's a catalyst for conflict. It's the spark that ignites the fuse, turning competition for scarce resources into a powder keg of violence and bloodshed. You see, when greed takes the reins, it doesn't just gallop ahead, it tramples everything in its path. Consider the scramble for Africa in the late 19th century, where European powers, driven by greed, carved up a continent, sowing seeds of conflict that still bear bitter fruit today. Or think of the countless wars fought over oil, where the thirst for black gold overrides the value of human life. In our own era, we see greed-driven conflicts over water resources as the climate crisis intensifies. Individuals and nations, blinded by their relentless craving for more, are willing to risk peace, stability, even their own future in the pursuit of fleeting gains. Greed fuels the flames of conflict, leaving communities torn apart and lives shattered. Let's remember that the next time we're tempted to let greed guide our actions, the antidote to greed isn't more wealth, it's empathy and justice. As we navigate the tumultuous seas of human nature, it becomes evident that a societal shift towards fairness, compassion, and solidarity is paramount. We are all passengers on this shared journey called life, and it is our collective responsibility to ensure that no one is left behind due to the unbridled avarice of a few. In the face of greed's destructive influence, empathy serves as a compass, guiding us towards understanding and compassion.